Sir, this way.
This way.
And to the left, please.
To the left.
This way, sir.
Right here.
And to my feet.
Yeah, this way. Here.
Over here. To the left side. Left down.
This way.
To the left, please.
Left side, second row. Left down, pass.
Robert. This way together.
And to the left, please.
Together this way, please. Robert.
Right to the left, right here. Robert.
Robert, this way. Robert.
In the middle, please.
Robert, this way.
Over here, please.
Robert,
please.
To the top, please. Up to the top.
Hello.
Robert,
And to the left, please.
Robert, this way, down,
Up to the top, Robert.
And to the left, please.
Please together this way.
Are you going to lead them to the front, please?
This way.
In the middle, please. Up to the top, please.
Robert.
In the middle, please.
Over here. To the church.
Please, don't go to the left.
Ladies.
This way. Here.
To the left, please. Look to the corner. Look to the corner.
Robert.
Guys, to the left, please. Corner to the left.
Robert.
Could you come over here, please?
Robert.
Toni, to the left, please.
To the left.
Yeah, exactly.
This way.
One step forward.
Let's step in the corner. This way. My sister.
Over here, please.
This way. Okay.
Toni, can you just take that?
Toni. This way.
Straight ahead, please.
s'il vous plaît.
One by one.
Now to the left.
This way. Down.
Please.
Yes.
Naomi.
The left side, please.
And one step
Naomi,
forward.
please. This way. Toni. Down. Anna Maria, s'il vous plaît. Anna Maria.
Can you look at me, please, Anna Maria?
Anna Maria, s'il vous plaît.
On to the top, please.
Robert, you can take that right here.
Up. Robert, to the top.
Robert. Please, this way.
One by one.
One to the left. One by one. Thank you.
One by one.
Robert. To the left side. Yeah. Robert, turn this way.
To the corner, please. Robert, this way.
Toni!
Bong Joon-ho is without question the best-known and successful Korean film director. He received the Palme d'Or at Cannes for Parasite and an Oscar. His films, often playful genre variations, take aim with biting satire at the nature of modern society and social injustices. This time he's presenting Mickey 17 as a Berlinale special gala format outside the competition. With stars such as Robert Pattinson, Toni, Collette and Mark Ruffalo, it tells the story of Mickey Barnes, a somewhat involuntary hero with a strange profession. Mickey earns his living by dying. Perhaps the press conference for the film helped shed some light on what this is all about.
On Earth, nothing was working out, and I wanted to get the hell out of there.
You're applying to be an expendable? You read through the paperwork.
Yeah, I should have read through it. They made me work my ass off. The ship was filled with mostly dickheads.
You're an expendable! You're here to be expended!
Every time I died, they just printed me out again. Everyone asked, what's it feel like to die? That's when everything changed. Multiples.
We exterminate every multiple. Which body goes first? One at a time is twice the fun.
This is a fight to the death.
We're in a state of war. Our survival is in the balance.
I got a job to do. Are you afraid to die? This time I wasn't scared.
Go first. Let's stop first.
I was like, what happened?
It's so official. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Please, I just want to start the press conference by letting everyone know that Director Bong will be answering questions in Korean. So if you have not already grabbed a headpiece, please, with translation, please grab one quickly.
Oh, it's like this? No, like this.
Thank you. So I'm Jacqueline Lianga. I'm the co-director of the film program here at the Berlinale. And welcome to the 75th anniversary of this film festival. And to the press conference for Mickey 17, which we're really excited is coming here to the festival. And with that, it's premiering this evening as a Berlinale special gala in the Berlinale Palast. And here with us are many members of the team. So please help me welcome each of them before we get into the questions. So Starting at the far end of the table, we have Anna Maria Bartolome. Another member of the cast, Naomi Ackie. Robert Pattinson. Toni Collette. Stephen Joon. And the director of this masterpiece, Director Bong. So good. Well, to start, I have a question for the cast. You have such a great cast, and I wanted to give them each the opportunity to talk about your experience working with director Bong on this film that has such great scale and drama and comedy, so many things.
The cast?
To the cast, yes.
Me? It was incredible. I mean, like Bong has been a director who has been on my kind of bucket list of directors to work with ever since I started acting, and he just seems like one of those directors who just you feel you'll probably never get an opportunity to work with them. It's like a kind of Mount Rushmore kind of director, yeah, when you hear he's doing something, I mean, I think all of us were just basically said yes before we even know what it is. Everyone just wants the experience, and you know, it's like working. It's, you know, it's just working. Just wrap it up. It's just working with a master. I mean, it's a really wonderful experience.
Yeah. I don't feel like I should put my hand up or something. No, it's truly wonderful. I think what I didn't anticipate was the joy on set that occurred, the kindness and the warmth. It was one of the funnest sets I've ever had the opportunity to be on, and that's because Bong is not only incredible in his storytelling, but he's incredible in setting a mood and a feeling of emboldening the people who are working on the story to be their full selves and bring their full selves to their work. So, thanks, mate.
I too said yes to this movie before seeing a script. I've never done that in my life, but when this guy calls you, you just say yes. Bong is a true original, a proper auteur, a visionary, an incredible leader, but an even better collaborator. It is fun. He's compassionate and generous and treats everybody with respect, and you feel so trusted, and that is a really good feeling. And I love you.
I've had the pleasure of working with Director Bong for 2 times now.
Show off.
Sorry. I don't know if you know that. I'm just kidding. He continues to impress. His leadership, like Toni was saying, is truly something, that it's very rare to find. He's the type of leader that lets you come to the answer, and he doesn't take it from you. He doesn't try to own it. He also allows the film to kind of reveal itself, and we've had conversations where, what he's displayed to me about how he makes his films is there's an absolute preparation, and then there's this amazing moment of surrender that I think is the highest mark of directing. So to get to be a part of that experience is truly incredible.
Take a question, yes?
Question from Brazil, Rodrigo Fonseca, C7. Question to Pattinson. congratulations for the amazing acting. Watching you on screen, during the whole film, I was thinking about Buster Keaton because your comic approach. I would like if you could say a few words about the comedy in the movie, and if you allow me a very geek question. Since you had a recent experience on The Boy and the Heron, there is a touch of Miyazaki in the film. I don't know if you share this impression with me, but was Miyazaki a reference to you somehow? Thank you.
Yeah, as we started shooting, Miyazaki, not exactly, but I definitely was getting some references from like anime and just into kind of discordant like mood changes really quickly in performances where you can kind of, especially for Mickey 18, where you just kind of go from 0 to 100 incredibly quickly. And I always really like that in anime when you just suddenly have someone entirely static and then suddenly they're furious out of nowhere. And that I think I was trying to do some kind of emulation of that, I guess. I'm sorry, what was the first part of the question? Comedy, yes. There was something that I saw, ever since I saw Memories of Murder, where there's something about the way Bong does like kind of physical comedy, which I always really liked, and there's something, even in crowd scenes, like I really noticed it in the scene in the cafeteria in this, where he can even kind of somehow get everybody to move in a certain way. You just start doing it in this movie. But it was something I wanted to see if I could kind of try and do, and and it felt like it lent itself correctly to this part. Cool.
Hello, Catalina Eneonea, Romanian magazine Conștiința. A question for Romanian-French actress Ana Maria Vartolomei. Felicitări, first of all. After Berlinale Talents in 2022, I think that was, and a competition film last year, you're back to Berlin in this amazing project. How do you feel in Berlin at the Berlinale? And also, when will the Romanian public will get to see you in Romania, in your home country? Thank you.
Well, I feel always very lucky to come to Berlin at the festival, and especially now with this team. I didn't get to talk earlier, I didn't dare, but I really want to say also that it was a massive joy for me to join the team and the crew, and I thank Director Bong and also the producers to let me be part of this. And in Romania, I did a movie last year with that was written and produced by Cristian Mungiu, and I think it will be out this year in Romania, so maybe you will get to see me on that. Thank you.
I have a question for Director Bong and for Toni Collette about the sauce. I would love I would love for you to talk about the sauce in the script and the sauce as a character in a way for you as a part of the character for you.
For those who have seen the original, they will know that it's that the character Toni in itself is a newly created character that has been added, and the sauce in the film is a very special part of the film. And the way I see it, the couple with Toni Collette and Mark they're dictators, but they're kind of cute. They're kind of funny and charming. So this might be a difficult way to express this, but I feel that they truly love their sauces, and if it comes to their sauces, they are really honest people. They love sauces, and I think we should respect that preference.
I think that the focus on the sauce it's such an inane priority. And it just says so much about their privilege and their position, because they're such narcissists and so elitist. And I think everybody else on the ship probably got to bring a toothbrush, but I brought the whole house and focus on all the luxuries in life, and the sauce is at the top of the heap, right?
Yeah. Right.
Hi. Sam Fahmy, a film critic from Egypt. My question is to director Bong Joon-ho. So the movie is about like killing people, threatening the like authentic or the inhabitant of a land to kill them, to move them from their place. You're still telling it in a comedic way. Why you are trying to do this, and how the current context in the world with so much killing and wars is affecting your filmmaking. Thank you.
네, 이게 뭐 장르로 보면 사이파이 장르잖아요.
Well, if you look at it, it's science fiction, and it's also in outer space. They go to an expedition and try to colonize another planet. And although it's a story of the future, it kind of seems like a story that could happen in the present or the past. And although it seems like a made-up story, a fantasy story, and this is why I really like the genre of fantasy stories. Not only Mickey, but the other characters as well are very realistic, very human characters. And therefore, I think that science fiction is not only limited to so a certain frame, but I try to make it more human, more petty.
Sorry. Hello. My question is to Robert Pattinson. First of all, congratulations. This is a really great job. Amazing. Thank you for this. And maybe we have to say thanks for cinema, which gives to actors opportunity to do these things what we can't do in our real life. And that's the main is to talking to yourself, the Mickey 1, Mickey 2nd. And if you had the real opportunity to talk to Robert 2, for example, what would you say to him? Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I think I spend most of my time talking to myself. Yeah. I don't think I'd be very interested in what he'd have to say. I think I'd have a similar reaction to the other people on the ship in the movie, where they'd just be like, oh, you know, whatever, just ignore him. Like, I don't know. I'd kind of, what does the back of my head look like? So stupid.
Okay, well, another question. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Joe from German television ZDF. I have another source-related question. Wow. Obviously, sources play quite a big role in your life, and you two guys were trying to bridge the cultural gap, I guess, in South Korea with sources. How did that go?
I mean, there's something, I guess a Western idea of source. I actually had this really strange, this is the most random thing to say, but like, it's kind of like, I always thought source, growing up in England, I don't know how, this is the most irrelevant answer, but it's like sauce to me is like, okay, you only really have sauce on like a pasta, and if you have sauce on a normal meal, this is like just part of the meal. But I think in Korea it's seen different.
I was talking about hot sauce.
These are the things I learned. Oh, hot sauce.
The
Sorry.
hot sauce.
Oh my God.
Situation.
In Korea, the sauce is more fundamental. Yeah. Very hard to separate from the. 음식 그 자체라는 게 분리가 안 돼. 이렇게 음식이 있고.
So it's not a food where you separate the sauce and the food, but the sauce is elemental. There's only one sauce that can be matched to a certain dish, and depending how well you mix the sauce and the food, the better the dish turns out. But I think you should just go to Seoul and try it out yourself. That would be good.
Hi. I'm Luciana Della Bella from Brazil, Film Cup, and my questions are for Bong Joon-ho. First of all, thank you for this wonderful film. I'm a big fan of your work since many years, and I always think you are untoppable, but you do another amazing film. So, 4 little questions. First, if you could tell us a little bit about the inspiration sources on the script, because it's such an amazing script. Then, every film can bring us to reflections. Which would be reflections that you maybe wish that the people have, some of them, when they see your film? Third is about art direction, which is just very shortly, if you can tell us a little bit about the process of art direction. And for Pattinson, I wanted to ask you if how was it to act so many times with yourself, and what was it maybe a special challenge? And congratulations for your wonderful work, all the cast.
Thank you. It's a lot of questions. So I would say the first question or the second question, that's fine.
영감을 받는 원천은 되게 많죠.
I draw my inspiration from many sources. Just as looking at your faces, I get many ideas, and as a writer-director, I'm constantly writing in my head. So there are many sources of inspiration, but in case of Mickey 17, there's an original novel by Edward Ashton called Mickey 7, and this was the starting point of my film. Warner Brothers and Plan B sent me the novel, and therefore I had the chance to write this script with this topic. And there's a concept called human printing in the original novel, which is the starting point. And it's a concept that's kind of not working. Printing human is a funny concept, and having this combination of human and printing is already very tragic and funny at the same time. And I've got a lot of inspiration from that. And when I thought of Rob Pattinson, I thought I was in a good mood thinking that I'd be printing him out endlessly.
Very printable, I don't know.
And I thought, like, well, he's very printable.
I'll take it as a compliment. No, it was a fascinating experience doing the playing opposite yourself. Like it's quite jarring at the beginning because you think you're just shooting into it's relatively similar to playing in a movie where you're dealing with like a CG character or something, because you're kind of imagining the other person there. But Bong has his editor on set, and so we were kind of watching the scene be constructed and kind of fitting pieces together like a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. And it was very satisfying. I mean, it's kind of the only thing. It's scary, not because you can't feel the rhythm of the scene, because obviously you do one half of it and then kind of just hope that it's going to fit together. But it was fun. It was fascinating to see the final product.
Hi, this is Eun-sun Ha from Korea Times, Los Angeles. First question is for Pattinson. In movie, everybody's saying, what's the feeling like dying? But in the opposite way, what was the feeling like not died as Mickey 17? And second question is to director. This is movie about the dying, but like a human printing make Mickey 17 print a lot for performing the extreme job. But as for a director, it's kind of like a twist way, but it's kind of eternal life. I feel like human printer makes director again and another. Mickey was imagining the dictator was printing, was like it looks like a nightmare. I don't know if my translation is good or not.
So later part is a question.
Oh, you want to give it? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind of. I think it's an interesting. I like playing these kind of characters who have an incredibly complicated philosophical situation they have to deal with, but they have not the typical character who would be thinking about this in normal circumstances. And I think there's something quite moving with Mickey, where he is trying to process what he is and what he's made out of, but then also at the same time has a kind of relationship with all of his previous selves. And I think when 18 comes, he has to come to terms with the fact that these other selves are both part of him and they've also died, and then figure out why he's the one to survive, and like why he's worthy of surviving and why the other ones weren't. And even though it's it's sort of couched in this kind of comedic, kind of farcical world and tone, I think it's actually it's a question that I think most people kind of have to deal with at one point or another when they deal with some kind of traumatic event or just living, just like you're basically just asking why do I exist, but having quite a silly character trying to consider it.
Hello. First of all, thank you so much for this wonderful movie. It's Natalia Zhuk, Carta Berlin. It exceeded all the expectations, and they were already high. My question first is to Bong Joon-ho and to Robert Pattinson, and to maybe everybody who wants to answer. For me, it did not feel just like science fiction or fantasy. For me, it felt like real world, especially after the American elections and what's happening now. So. It was like a prophecy, because obviously you were shooting it before. But how did you feel it? I mean, it's always the metaphor of something that happens in reality, but how important for you was to make it as precise as possible? For example, with the character of the dictator by Mark Ruffalo, because he has this mannerism which say Trump. And the second question, very short one to Robert. I was really impressed with your voice work in this specific timbre of voice that you use it as Mickey 17 and Mickey 18. How did you work on it? How did you design this the way you would be sounding? Thank you.
네, 마크 러팔로 그 캐릭터가
Ruffalo is a character
과거에 이제 역사 속에 있었던 여러 가지 그 독재자들의 느낌을
an ape who embodies the dictators of the past that we've experienced. And this is how I came up with this character.
우리가 겪었던 모든 나쁜 정치인들의 모습을
he has,
재밌게 섞어보고자 했었어요.
in a comical way, all the faces of the bad politicians that we've experienced. Of course, I had some people I took as a reference, such as bad Korean politicians or other politicians, but not actual politicians right now. And
어떤 정치인을 상상하기도 하고 그러시나 봐요.
it seems like you have certain politicians of modern times that you're thinking of, but I made this character with drawing my inspiration from the past. And as history always repeats itself, it might seem like I'm referring to someone in the present. So even if I make something thinking of an event in the past, it seems to cover current events as well. You said this film is very realistic. This kind of reaction is a reaction that I'm very thankful for. And science fiction, I want to make science fiction that is very human and unusual for the genre science fiction in itself. And even the character Toni is not a character that often appears in science fiction films, and we have many young people in this room as well, and I think I made this film thinking like the situation in the film is one you could experience in your life.
One more time, I actually think I realized today what I was doing. Because I did, because I remembered we were doing an interview earlier, and Bong said one of the thoughts he was having in his head for Mickey 18 was Peter Stormare and Fargo, and then when we were talking about it as we prepped for it, And then I think I just went home, and then how that kind of went into my head was to do Steve Buscemi at 17, but like, I kind of did it by accident. But I don't think I realized that until today. but yeah, I thought I was doing something else.
Hello, I'm from SBS Korea, and I have a question to Director Bong. So this is your first time exploring a love story in your movie. and I felt it was really unique and also honest. And especially the threesome-like scene was particularly striking. So what kind of message of love did you want to convey through this film?
일단 그게
First of all,
그거 쓰리썸이 아니에요.
it's not a threesome.
미키랑 나샤의 사랑이죠.
It's the love between Mickey and Nasha.
분화가 돼가지고.
But Mickey has become two Mickeys.
하바네로? 하바네로 미키. 근데 어찌됐건 사랑이죠. 제가 이제 그 러브 스토리나 멜로드라마를 찍어본 적이
Nevertheless, this is a love story, and I've never
늘 도전해보고 싶은
filmed a love
장르였죠.
story, a melodramatic
뮤지컬 외에는 모든 장르를
film.
다 해보고 싶습니다.
And to be honest, I want to make films of all genres. That is my life goal. Although I am a bit scared about musicals.
이 두 훌륭한 배우 덕분에
And thanks to
나오미
the
덕분에
two
이런
great
러브 스토리를
actors
찍을 수 있었던
next to me, we were able to, or I was able to film a love story.
주제랑도 연관된 부분이 있는 것 같아요. 이
And I
영화에
think
그
the
나오는
love story is
상황들이
also
되게
related to the different strands and the story of the whole film. You have many
여러 가지
violent
무서운
scenes.
상황, 가혹하고 이제 정치적으로 복잡한 상황들이 많은데 그 와중에도
like you
끝까지
said, in the film, just like in reality, there are many political, many scary scenes, but in the end, Mickey is able to survive, and that is all thanks to the love he has to Naomi, to Nasha.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. Well, thank you, Director Bong. Thank you to the cast of Mickey 17. And please help me thank them for coming to the Berlinale today.